Hey YouTube, and thanks for watching Junkworks Garage. Well, I'm working on the Razor here. It's a 2011 Polaris Razor 800. This isn't totally about me working on this rig or something, a project I'm going to do, but how I'm working on it. And I'm going to show you a product. One I've shown you before. I have a video on my tools, products, and reviews, but of what I'm going to have with me when I'm using this. So I decided I probably should start using it when I'm working on it to make sure I have what tools I think I'm probably going to need or might need down the road, and see if there's anything I need to add to it. So that's kind of what this video is going to be about, is what I need to work on this vehicle. And here you go right here. This is what it is. It's the Harbor Freight Pittsburgh. It's just the whole set. I don't remember what I paid. I have it in that video. I have a video on this, like I said, so I'm not going to go into everything. But it is a very, I'll say, expansive toolkit, especially if you need sockets. It's got every socket and then some. Now I will say, when it comes to end wrenches, it has something left to be desired. But yet again, we have this here in a total emergency where you need something. This is one of those things where I'm gonna have this when I'm camping. I keep it in my truck most of the time. So when I'm gone doing something with this, this is what I'm gonna have. You know, I'm not gonna have all the tools in the garage. So as I'm working on this, I'm going to take tools out and kind of check things. First of all, and I already know this works because I already checked it, and that's what made me think, you know, I should probably do a video. Taking a wheel on and off. That right there, we'll get that done. This is a 17 millimeter for mine anyway. So I'll be able to take my 1/2 inch wrench here, maybe throw this extension. All these things are in this tool kit, and stick that on there. I probably could just get it here, but I'll end up wrapping my knuckles. So in this case, I'll have that right there, and I should be able to undo that with no problem. And I'll torque these down later, but right now, basically, this will get me out of a jam. I don't need a torque wrench when I'm out in the middle of nowhere needing to change a tire. And in that case also, I am going to be carrying a spare tire and tire plugs. I don't mind being over prepared when it comes to that kind of stuff. I'd rather change a tire than try and limp home on a flat tire personally. You know, and time will come, you know, time will tell what I am and am not going to bring. As for now, I'm going to use this toolkit to work on everything I'm going to be doing. And things like, okay, this right here, you got your screwdriver, and this thing has a lot of torque stuff, it appears, which I have several torques, but I want to make sure that these torques are going to work for what I need. But yet again, if I'm in my garage, I'm probably not going to use that. I'm going to take this tip and put it in one of my impact guns and go to town, you know. So if you see me using this, it's not me cheating really per se. It's just I know I have that tool. This is just faster, and I need to get things done as well. So when I'm in the shop, I'll be using this with probably an equivalent to that, because I don't want to be breaking those. And if I use those by hand, they should be fine. If I use them in an impact, I don't know if those are impact rated. So yet again, you may see me using this, but a lot of times I'll be using these tools or something that's in there. And if I find something that I might need on here and it's not in this toolkit, I'll add it. There again, you know, you'll have to figure out what you need and don't need. It could be that this is going to be just over excessive of what I need, and there's no reason for me to pack this much weight on my rig. So I may, as I figure out what tools I can use, I might either go buy a cheap set at Harbor Freight or cheap whatever at Harbor Freight. I have a lot of spare tools and things I've picked up in places. I'll probably find some of those to use, and at some point I'll have just a toolkit for this rig. But as for now, that big toolkit will be with me whenever I'm using this. Well, I don't know if you can tell, it's pretty muddy. I've actually cleaned it off a couple times. It's been through lots of mud and crud. And so far I'm pretty happy with it. I'm going to open it up and kind of show you. And for my razor anyway, and I've actually used it a couple times, not really in the field, but in the garage to, like I said, I'm just using it when I work on a lot of things to see what I need to add to this. And so far, for the razor in specific, I added a 15mm wrench and a 5/8 and 3/4 wrench to my wrenches, because this definitely does not have enough wrenches. And I have also put in an 8mm Allen head wrench, which actually I do believe there is an 8mm in here, but I wasn't very happy with it. So this one just worked better for what I was using it for, so I'm going to go ahead and throw it in here. Then I know I have it. I also put a pick and a Sharpie in here as far as that's concerned. Oh, and then I've always had the long 1/4 inch extension. They have a shorter one in here, but not a real long one, so I use this a lot. So it's just something I use a lot. Whether or not you think you need it, that's up to you. Yet again, this is going to completely depend on your razor or your ATV you're using, and it's going to depend on what you're doing with it. But I've been able to use this with my truck while we were out a couple times to work on a couple things, and I've used it on my razor in the garage here. So far I haven't had to use it on my razor outside the garage, and I've been pretty happy with it. So there you go. Now you know. If you have an ATV or you just want something for in your truck for different things, this kit is a pretty good kit. And like I said, I do have a separate video kind of goes through this a little bit more. Oh, that's the other thing. Also, I throw a few rigs in there. Now this comes with kind of a foam thing here that helps keep your stuff in. Kind of holds this from falling out. But I've noticed with these rigs here, I can use it to do the same basic thing, and it seems to work just fine. Plus I have rigs that way as well in there. Something else also, like I showed you, I don't know, I'm hoping you can see this there. I didn't clean it great, but there's still some mud and muck and goop all over this. This did get really wet kind of inside. It doesn't have like an O-ring or anything to keep water from going in, but just to keep everything from rusting, I took a bunch of T9 bow shield and sprayed all over this, and it hasn't rusted. You can see kind of, I don't know if you can see it, but there's definitely kind of a film on this. I can shine it up and get it off of there, which oils from your skin is not good. But regardless, I just sprayed that on there, and it has not rusted yet at all, and it's been wet 2 or 3 times now. So you may want to do that as well, just even before you start. Get some whatever your fluid of choice. I really like the T9 bow shield. The WD-40 stinks too much, and a lot of other ones kind of stink, as well as a lot of other types of oils that you would oil things up with collect dust and grease and collects it on there. So if we were to go through a real dusty area and dust got down in there, I'm sure it would stick all over this. But that T9 bow shield repels dust and those kind of things from sticking to the tools as well. So another upside to that T9 bow shield. Really, really like that product, and it is not a sponsor. Wish it was. Regardless, I have not found a whole lot of things I needed to put in here other than what I just showed you. I've been very happy with it. This is actually rode in the back of my razor. I got a spot where I hook it in, and I haven't had to, with those regs in there, I have not had to worry about anything falling out. I really haven't had a problem anyway, even with the little foam thing it comes with. I haven't had a problem with it, but regardless, yet again, you can decide on that part of it, but I have rode this in my Razor 3 or 4 times, been through some mud, been through quite a bit of water, been through all kinds of things, and haven't had or noticed any problems other than, yet again, when I get back, I open it up. If it's real wet, I just kind of pat it down with my rag and hit it with the T9 bow shield, and we're good to go. It has not started rusting yet, and it's been several months since I've done that, and it still hasn't rusted. Well, hopefully this wasn't too long and somebody got something out of this. Now get out there and get your junk working. Thanks for watching Junkworks Garage, where I'm proud to say I'm a jack of all, I am master of none. You all have a good one.